Alright guys, first video on this channel. Just got here to the office, but main thing I want to go over in this video is the topic of pain. Okay, pain is a very big topic. Probably one of the most important things when you are going to start a company. So I really just want to go through like everything about pain. Okay, now when I say pain, I don't mean like physical, like smash your toe pain or anything like that. I'm talking about real hard mental pain. Okay, so as of recording this video, our company has lost about $20,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue in the business. Okay, and that's the type of pain I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anything to do with like go stub your toe or anything like that. I want to talk about what it really takes to build a very successful company, and what the harsh reality is like to build a company. Okay, this is gonna be like what I wish I knew when I was 18 years old. But when I mention pain, the main thing that goes into pain is the main thing I want to go through is that first year. Okay, your first year in running a business is probably one of the most painful experiences you are going to have. Okay, you're doing the shittest tasks. Your belief systems haven't been rewired yet. It's all of these little factors that you're going to hate basically everything you're doing, and your pain threshold is very low. You haven't dealt with stress before. You haven't dealt with clients leaving, whatever your business model is, but you are going to go through real physical pain. And Charlie Morgan talks about this and he calls it trial by fire. You're going to be put through a trial, okay, of fire. I mean fire, I mean pressure, stress, anxiety, whatever you want to call it. You're going to be forged into a new person from this pain. So, as I said, pain is essential for growth. If you want to grow as a person and you want to grow as your company and you want to increase your revenue, you want to start a business, make 10K a month, whatever your goal was, during that first year, you're going to go through real pain. Okay? Now, another point from Charlie Morgan is actually think about this. What is a knight without a dragon? Like, I actually think and just analyze that. What is a knight without a dragon? And you realize it's a normal person. Okay, so that pain you have to go through, it's designed for you to become the person that can achieve all those goals, 10K a month, whatever your goal is, but you're basically going to have an identity shift when you start your business. Okay, you are going to have an identity shift. It takes years, by the way. It doesn't take months, it doesn't take weeks. It takes years to develop all the pain that you are going to be going through. It takes years to develop that, okay? And the analogy I like to compare, like when I first started growing the company, first year in business, I would always compare my business to training, whether it was in the gym or boxing. I'd always compare the same two things. Like actually analyze this and think, if I was to be a boxer, would I be professional or world champion in 1 year? Okay. How much pain does it take to get to a world champion? It takes 5, 10, 20 years. It takes years and years of consistent work day in and day out. Even with the gym, it doesn't take 3 months to get in shape. It doesn't take 6 months. If you are obese, it's going to take you years. Okay. And because I was, always training, I used to always compare that to a business. Okay. People have this wrong paradigm and wrong perception on, A, business should be easy, which it's not, and B, it's quick. Okay, so what happens is that you've probably tried something for 1 week or 2 weeks and you've experienced a bit of pain, a bit of, resistance, and then after that you just quit. Okay, and the point I make there is everything is going to be difficult. No business is easy. Okay, I've had times where I've been working from 4 a.m. till 8 p.m. and I'm stressed out. And I'm in my car alone, just thinking, what the fuck am I doing? What's going on? You're gonna have that period as an entrepreneur. You have to go through that, okay? So my advice is if you're gonna start something, my honest advice to my 18-year-old self would be go through as much pain as possible and don't avoid it, okay? Because remember, pain equals growth. If there's no pain in your life, you're not gonna you're not gonna have a fulfilling life. If you don't have problems in your life to solve and you're living a day-to-day life, you're comfortable, okay, that's another topic to even talk about, but you have no problems, you're going to spend your energy on places where you're not going to enjoy your life, okay? That's probably what you're experiencing now. If you're watching this video and you're resonating with this, I've got no problems in my life, I feel miserable, it's because you have no problems to solve. You should be grateful for all the problems that you have to solve, and even Another point, like most people think that their end result is the goal. So for example, 10K a month, 50K a month, 25K a month, whatever your goal is. I'm here to tell you it's not the end goal. You're going to get to that revenue standpoint, okay? I'm telling you, that has happened so many times. First, you're going to make 10K a month, then you make 25K, then 50K, and you hit all these benchmarks like per month, right? And nothing changes. The outcome is never like the goal, revenue-wise. What's the goal? I'm telling you, what's the most fulfilling thing to do is to spend your whole day in emptying out the tank day to day. And you look at the end of the day and you're like, wow, I put all my effort in today. That's the main thing. The actual process is what you want to be focusing on, not the end result. Because I'm telling you, guys, it's just numbers on a fucking screen. Like, that's all money is, numbers on a screen. When you get past 10 grand a month, I'm telling you, your life does not change. It's the same thing. What gives you fulfillment is the work itself. Going through day in and day out and giving 100% effort, that is what makes you fulfilling. Because then you look back in a year from now and you're thinking like, yes, you look at your revenue increases, but you also look at all the problems you went through, how hard you worked, and your self-image and your perception and your thoughts, they all change to be like, fuck, I'm the man. Okay, what I've seen is that if I take like a week or two off, I start stressing, my thoughts start changing, I start going back into like old programs, like old habits. Like the best thing to do, I'm telling you guys, is just to fucking work. Like work as hard as you most possibly can. When I was starting like the company when I was 18 years old, just finished high school, okay, I was waking up at 4 a.m. I did it every single day, okay, for a year straight. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I'd work all the way to, 6, 7, even 8 p.m. some nights, all right? I had tutoring as a job. I was in uni, okay? I had the business, I was just working and it's difficult because when you first start your business, you're gonna have to put an unhealthy amount of hours into your business. Okay, it's just reality. If you're gonna want to be successful, I've never seen a successful entrepreneur who hasn't risked a period of their life, sacrificed a period of their life where all it was work. And yes, it's unhealthy. They've sacrificed your health, mental health, physical health. Now, I'm not saying that like don't go to the gym and eat fucking Cheetos all day. But what I'm telling you is that you're gonna have to sacrifice a big portion of your life. Dating, I wasn't talking to any girls, honestly, for about a year straight. All I did was wake up, work. I was going to bed at 7, 8 p.m. All the way up to I shut my laptop, I was working. Okay, so, and again, I was sleeping like 7:30, 8 p.m., which, who's gonna want to be taking something like that? But that was all designed, so my whole day was focused around work, okay? And that's something you have to realize, like it's gonna be a tremendous amount of pain. You're gonna have to go through a lot of things, okay? And the pain you go through shapes you as a person. And you look back a year from now, okay? And once you've done like a whole year of work, you'll look back and go, fuck, look how far I've become. And you actually want it to be harder. I'll tell you what, you actually want the pain to be as hard as possible, okay? Because it means no one else will do it, which makes you the exception, okay? So how hard it is, you actually want it to be harder. If you know there's no chance that you're gonna give up, okay, you want it to be as hard as possible so no one else can do it and you're at the top. That's the reality, okay? If it was easy, everyone would have it. You want it to be as hard as humanly possible, okay? And you want to put yourself through as much pain so that from 5 years from now, you look back and you're like, fuck, that's what built me to the man I am today, okay? That's it for today, guys. Again, first video, but that's something I really want to talk about. Again, even when I talk about pain, right now it is actually 11 a.m. on a Sunday, right? It's 4 days before Christmas, the 21st of December. And you know what? I was so bored. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go do some work. Pain, okay? Yes, I could have said, I don't want to do work, but, I was bored. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the office and I'm going to work. I'm going to record a few YouTube videos, and that's it. So, hope this video was valuable, guys. Again, the main advice I'd give to myself is go through as much pain as possible. So if you're 18 years old, you're 19, 20, go through as much pain as possible. Do as much work as you possibly can. And don't do it for any other validation from other people. Do it for yourself, okay? Everyone, even when I started, I thought that do it to impress other people. Fuck that. Do it for yourself. You owe it to yourself. And if you want that desired life, the key to visiting heaven is by first visiting hell. So you have to go through as much pain as possible. You have to go through hell for a couple of years. And then on the other side of that, you'll see heaven. Thanks, guys.